right, Caitlin. Why did you do it? I didn't do it. You did do it. I didn't. It wasn't me. Then who did? All right, fine. I did it. But I can explain. It was an accident. Well, you better start talking. Hey, you want me to talk? I'll talk. But not until after I tell you about today's sponsor. Wait a minute. This video doesn't have a sponsor. She has like 9 subscribers. Hey! Today's a very sad day. Because today marks the first month that we've had without my brother's pet, Marvin. About a month ago, Marvin the worm died. And it's my fault. Now, before you start to judge me, right? I technically didn't unalive Marvin. But we'll get into that later. So what happened was, about a month ago, my brother and I were at my grandma's house and we were shelling gungu. Now, gungu is what Jamaicans call pigeon peas. And my grandmother, she has this tree of pea pods in her backyard, so my brother and I, we were shelling them and taking the peas out. And while we're shelling the peas, my brother, he's 4 by the way, he opens one of the pea pods and he's like, oh my goodness, Caitlin, there's a worm inside of here. And I was like, what? So we're looking inside of this pea pod and we're looking at this itty bitty green worm. And he and I were just so excited. But the thing is, Marvin's not moving. So my brother's like, why isn't he moving? Is he dead? Now, that would have been a very short story. But me being the genius I was, I think to myself, oh, when you pour, I don't know how I made a correlation between this, but I was like, oh, when you pour salt onto snails, they disintegrate. So maybe if I put like a bit of salt on the worm, it'll like kickstart a reaction or something, and he'll wake up and start like moving again. And I was right. I threw a bit of salt on Marvin, and he didn't disintegrate, but he started to like move a little bit. It woke him up a bit. And my brother, he's super excited. He's like, wow, it's a worm and he's moving. That's so cool. And we decided to give him a name. We named him Marvin. Now my brother and I, we're playing with this little worm and we decided to take him outside. And my brother, he makes like a cute little bed for him out of leaves and stuff, and we put Marvin inside of the little bed that we made. And everything's fine. We're having a great time when my brother decides to run back inside. So now it's me, left alone with Marvin. And I'm thinking to myself, worms usually like to live in dirt. So maybe I should put Marvin in some dirt. So as my brother's inside, I slowly pick up Marvin and I gently place him inside of this pot of soil that my grandmother has just laying around. And I place him in there and he's loving it. Marvin, he's like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that this existed. And he's just like having a great time moving around in the dirt. And I'm so happy for Marvin. When I notice that, oh, there's a giant ant inside of the pot. And then I realized, oh, there's a lot of giant ants in this pot. And when I say giant, I'm not talking like tarantula big, but they were significantly bigger than this itty bitty worm. And I'm panicking. Marvin doesn't notice these giant ants. And I can do nothing but just watch in horror as these ants rain down upon Marvin. And then, after a while, the ants stop. And they leave. And Marvin is nowhere to be found. And I look in the soil thinking maybe he's still alive when I see this itty bitty green just like sitting still in the pot. And then my brother, he runs back outside to meet me, and he's looking in the little bed and he sees Marvin's not there. And he's like, Caitlin, where's Marvin? And I look at him and I say to him, I don't know. But you were out here with him. Didn't you see where he went? No, maybe he ran away. Caitlin, he's a worm. Worms are slow. He couldn't have gotten away that fast. I don't know. Maybe he was just really hungry and that made him super fast. You know what we should do? We should look around this entire garden until we find Marvin. And I was like, you're right. So my brother and I, we split up and we searched the whole garden. We're looking through the pea pods, and we look in the trees. He has me pick him up so that he can look at each and every distinct pea pod inside of the tree, because he's thinking, we found him in a pea pod, maybe he went back to the pea pods. So my brother's playing 4D chess in his brain, and he's looking for the worm. And I'm over here and I know where he is, but I just didn't have the heart to tell my brother that. And my mom, she wasn't at the house at the time. And I said to my brother, let's take a break. Let's go inside, go watch some TV or something. And as he's watching the TV, I call my mom. And I'm like, Mom. And I tell her the entire story that I just told you. And her response, she laughs for a really long time. And she's like, Caitlin, just tell him the truth. It's just a worm. And then my brother comes back into the room as I'm on the phone, and he's like, Caitlin, let's keep looking for Marvin. And my mom goes, you named the worm. Yes, we did. So my mom's like, Caitlin, just tell him. So I get off the phone with my mom, and I take my brother's hand, and I'm like, okay, I know where Marvin is. Like, you do? Then let's go get him. So I quietly take him by the hand and we head to the pot of soil. And I point down at the little green that's left in the pot, and I say, that's Marvin. And he looks at me and he goes, Caitlin, that's not Marvin. Yes, it is. I know it's hard. No, Caitlin, it's not Marvin. So I was like, okay. Yeah, Caitlin, that's a dark green. Marvin was a light green. Because my brother's not understanding that the dirt caused Marvin to get a little, dirty. So he's sitting here going, what are you talking about? That's not Marvin. Let's keep looking for Marvin, Caitlin. So I was like, okay. So we continue looking for Marvin. We never found Marvin. To this day, every now and then I'll be chilling with my brother. We'll be in the couch watching Mickey and the Roadster Racers or something. And everything we find, and he'll just go, I miss Marvin. And I just have to sit there and have war flashbacks. My mom doesn't even help. My mom bought my brother a Squishmallow, a tiny itty bitty Squishmallow, for his birthday. And my brother's like, wow, I've always wanted a Squishmallow. And my mom's like, yeah. And then she looks at me and she goes, you know what we should name him? We should name him Marvin. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure that you like and subscribe. Bye!
How can Marvin eat food, and how did he get away so fast? And me and my sister split up, and then I know one bad guy who did that.
Who did it?
That was Black Cat. Black Cat had this claw on his arm, and then he could attach it to anything, and then anything could go in her leg, and then she could take it away with her claw on her arm, and then she attach it to something, and then she take it away.
So you think she took Marvin?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what happened to him.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Oh, I will go.
Bye.
I'm gonna stay with you.
Okay.